The Knicks, when they drafted Mitchell Robinson second round, they knew that he could shoot it back from his high school days, and obviously he took that year off instead of playing in college, but they talked about his ability to knock down shots from the perimeter back then. So I would assume that at some point it is in their plans to let it go. And as you mentioned, that could just open things up for the entire offense, the guards, and it brings a different dynamic for Mitch when he's screening on the pick and roll. If he doesn't dive directly to the basket, if he pops, it just creates a different element for the Knicks on their offense, which, as we both know, because we watched this team last year, they need a little more there on that end of the floor.
You got to tip your hat off to Scott Perry. When he was with Detroit, when he was with the Pistons, they were rough, rugged, tough. He had those types of players like Mitchell Robinson, athletic guys, but I think the way the game is being played now, I think they have to shift gears in getting a lot more skilled players that can pass, players that can shoot, players that can cut, high IQ guys. We mentioned Damyean Dotson. I think if Damyean Dotson gets a little bit more playing time, and I think he can bring a lot more value other than just being a spot-up shooter. I like guys like that. I'm not going to rain on RJ's parade because he's still developing. But if we look at the development of Mitchell Robinson in 2 years and where he's come from and where we think he can go, you got to tip your hat off to Scott Perry a little bit here because that was a really good pick. I look at the guys that were picked before. Mitchell coming out of high school was number 3 behind DeAndre in Phoenix and Mo Bamba in Orlando. Mm-hmm. So if you look at that, you have some GMs in that top 10, top 15 range, which is water under the bridge now, looking back on that Mitchell Robinson pick and saying, oh my God, what could have been?